Good morning and welcome to the 15-minute Chassidus Shir. It's only 15 minutes in quantity. We hope it will be a qualitative effect for the whole day. We are learning the Maamarim Vada Tetzav Es Bnei Yisrael Tavshim Mem Aleph. We're holding in the middle of Ois Yud, and it's note 56. It's about 8 lines up from the end of the Ois. We're going to learn today in Mitzvah Hashem, note 56 at the bottom of the page. We're explaining here that there are two general layers of the neshama. You've got koichos pnimim and koichos makifim. Koichos pnimim are the internal aspect and personality of a person, his understanding and his feelings. And then you've got the all-encompassing energy of the person. We have different examples. His will affects everything the same. Inner motivation, the very a life that the whole body of the person feels alive the same. And in godly terms, we have also these two levels. You've got the essence of the soul, all-encompassing essence and the very being of the neshama, which is a chelik elikam imal, as Alter Rebbe explains in the second chapter of Tanya and in chapter 18. And that's what's Yiddish and neshama, and what's the life-giving force of a Yid comes from his godly soul. We also have our seichel and midas. We've got our understanding, and we've got how we feel about things. And there's this layer of godly understanding and godly midas as well, which Alter Rebbe explains in chapter 3 of the Tanya. Here, in this mimer, where the Moshe Rabbeinu and his Pashtus of the Moshe brought out from every Yid, Moshe did, and the extension of Moshe in every generation, the essence of the neshama, what's called the etzem of the neshama. The etzem of neshama is that part of the Yid that says, I just want to be attached to Hashem. We explained also that in Golus, where there's the pasuk refers to kosis l'ma'ir, that a Yid is broken, crushed, broken-hearted in Golus. It brings out the mar of the neshama, the essence of the neshama. So it could be that the essence of the neshama is brought out with Mesiras Nefesh, like we saw in the times of under the Gzeira of Haman before the Nes of Purim, similar times of the Frierdiker Rebbe when in Russia under the communist rule, where Yidden had to have this Mesiras Nefesh in order to stay attached to Hashem in the face of all types of difficulties. And then you have a different type of revelation of the neshama, and that is as it comes out like the time of Purim after the Gzeir, after the Nes of Purim, or today where we have the freedom and the ability to serve Torah, serve Hashem with Torah mitzvahs without anything holding us back. So, in the structure that Hashem has created for a neshama, you've got the personality, how he thinks, how he feels. And you've got the essence. Even though the essence of even his understanding and his feelings, it's one neshama, it's one person, the essence is the same, but it doesn't necessarily affect how the structure of understanding and feelings are. It's their essence, but doesn't necessarily permeate who they are. And the last year we learned that you had Yidden who lived in Mesiras Nefesh for many years under communist regime, for example. But when they left and they came to a place of freedom, it wasn't noticeable that Mesiras Nefesh. And that could very well be because that aspect of the Mesiras Nefesh of the neshama didn't permeate their very understanding. However, in the time of Golus, where there's no persecution, and we're able to serve Hashem with abundance of freedom, nevertheless, a Yid's bothered by the fact that we're in Golus. Golus means Hashem's not revealed everywhere. What part of a Yid wants Hashem to be revealed everywhere, and that bothers him? That comes from the essence of his neshama, the etzem of the neshama. It bothers him that because it really has permeated even the structure of his mind and his feelings. It's not that, okay, I'm happy to do Torah mitzvahs being dedicated to Hashem, but it doesn't bother me so much. The Mashiach's not here. Okay, when he comes, it'll be fine. There are parts of the world that don't recognize Hashem. It doesn't bother me really. No, if it bothers him bothers him, and this is what's important to him. Then more important than the weather, more important than other physical things. It really gets to him that Mashiach hasn't come. Godliness is not permeating everywhere. Where does that come from? That's from the etzem and the neshama, and that this is a greater level of revelation of the essence than Mesiras Nefesh. And we find a similar dynamic with Moshe Rabbeinu in the Midbar. Moshe Rabbeinu in the Midbar was able to bring together the neshama of the Yid as it is Lamaila to the neshama of the Yid is Lamata. Neshama Lamaila sees Elikus. That's the level of neshama that's called the Chaya of the neshama. There's 5 names of the neshama, Nefesh, Ruch, Neshama, Chaya, Chida, different levels. And the level of Chaya is the one that shines in the higher spiritual worlds and sees godliness. But it doesn't. It's hard for that to affect the body because the it's a physical body. However, if you're able to get the neshama to feel, I've got my structure and format, Lamaila, in spiritual worlds, and there's who I am in this world. They're 2 different worlds. But if each of those worlds can lose a little of their format and say, yeah, but the neshama l'mayla, that's really the same essence as the neshama here below. It's the same yid. It's not that it stayed and can't connect with me. It stays not in my cognizance. But if it can lose its spiritual, worldly only format, and the one and the part of the yid here below can lose a little bit of his only worldly format, then the 2 can be in sync. They can come together. How does it come out? Because the essence of both have shined through. The essence of the neshama above is the same essence as the neshama below in the guf. And Moshe Rabbeinu brought out the essence of the yid and neshamas in the midbar, and so they were able to live with and internalize the awareness of Hashem as the neshama was above. Now, when Moshe Rabbeinu did it, it wasn't Mesiras Nefesh. He triggered their etzem. And how did it show up? That the 2 different parts of the neshama, the spiritual above and the one enclosed in the body here, would be in sync. They'd be together. And so the yidden below here were called the Deir. So that's one. However, for a yid to feel that what's important, what bothers me, godliness is not revealed here, that comes only from the essence of the neshama as it's revealed to the essence of the neshama. So for you to feel that means it's not just the koyach has been given that you can bring in sync the 2 different aspects of the neshama, but rather that essence of the neshama permeates the very being of who the yid here is below. Let's see it inside it. Note 56. And so too, similarly, you have this. It's relevant to the same way when you bring the emunah in the das, like Moshe Rabbeinu neshama did with the yidden in the midbar, that the emunah would come b'pnimis, that the emunah the neshama has above should permeate who they are. Zed shemunah pa'elos ala das. This the emunah above, the belief in Hashem affects the awareness of the person, means that they actually change. It's not just that they're functioning on the emunah as it is in a higher world, but they haven't been affected. No, they understand it. It becomes part of them. Is a yisrun ve'ilu ligabi inim Mesiras Nefesh, because they've been permeated with a higher spiritual energy, and that becomes part of them. That's greater than just the Mesiras Nefesh, which is functioning as what we call the spiritual adrenaline on that level, because they became internalized within them. However, that's only the das aspect. V'yeshleima, the b'hamshachus emunah b'das, bringing down this emunah into the awareness of a person. Zer shenimshal b'gilui hu emunah shemitzad mezlayich chazim makiv t'chaya. What comes out b'gilui is not the etzem. What comes out b'gilui is the belief in Hashem, which is from the higher level of the neshama, the level of chaya. Elo, she'achibu dehamona shalomayla medas and medas, but the ability to join the two together of the emunah that's higher than awareness of the person, the neshama above, in das of the person here below, al yidei hamshochas etzem neshama. That's because the etzem neshama was brought out. Square brackets, hainu, shelegili the etzem neshama that Moshe Rabbeinu did, that revelation of the essence, hurak nesinas koyach lebechinas imunah shebetzad hamachiv techaya. It was only the giving of the ability, the imunah of the makiv of chaya should be connected with the das of the person, with his awareness. And not that the essence, the essential piece of the neshama was revealed. On the other hand, came further in the ha'ara, this that the revelation of godliness is important to his very being. It bothers me. I can't stand it that it's not like that. And that's that I'm broken-hearted, nishba, broken and crushed, that in time of Golus there's not a revelation of godliness in the world. This revelation of the essential bonding of the neshama that comes from the essence of the neshama, that it's revealed in the person, that it's negaya to him. It's relevant to me. It's not just a spiritual thing that I've heard about. I'm bothered by it. In addition to that, it's possible that we have the ability from the etzem neshama. It's even more. She's kashrus atzmi atzma. This essential bonding and the connection to Hashem of the neshama itself, that its whole being is one godly energy, is me'ira b'gilui. It shines openly b'dogma segili shalom b'inyan mesiras nefesh, similar to like it was shining in Mesiras Nefesh, but it shines not in the Mesiras Nefesh way, but it shines in a way that v'gam gili zeh, the etzem neshama atzma, is meschabe metzir the keichos giluim. It's connected also with the format of his keichos giluim, of how he feels about this inyan that godliness should be revealed in the world. And so this is the mila that there is in that we have in that the person's affected by and it bothers him. The next piece of the Maimon we'll see, how is it possible? How is it possible to bring these two different dynamics, the all-encompassing Mesiras Nefesh energy, into the pnimius and the mindset of the person? That's because the neshama comes from Hashem, that is unformatted. Hashem formatted these pieces. If we can be able to tap into the place within Hashem where there is no format, that's when you're able to have it. It's a wondrous concept. We'll pick up in Mix Hashem next year. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.